Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I am Joey Calvo. Before we get started, please continue to help those victims of the California wildfire. They do really need our help. I do apologize. There we go. All right. They really do need our help. So reach out to the Red Cross or any other charities that will help those victims. Today, I had this truly, if there was a meter that went up to 10, she's 1,000 plus. She is an attorney. She's a mediator and holistic coach, transforming divorce. There we go. Through 5D consciousness, energy healing, and mindset for empowerment and growth. And believe me, yesterday I did a lot of holistic energy healing and mindset of my own in my personal life. So I have the most truly beautiful Jen Mitchell Love. Jen, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, Joey, what a beautiful introduction. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, somebody has to tell you this. I don't know. So sweet. I don't know why men don't say it. Men got to be honest. So. But that's another podcast.
I love you. I prefer honesty. Authenticity and truth those are my jams.
Yeah. So like I said, men should be more honest.
Yes.
In reference to that. So, Jen, please tell us about. Now one of the questions that is going to come up is going to be about how you got here, but I'm going to have you started off on who is Jen Mitchell? Who is the tremendous, outrageous, wild, and beautiful Jen Mitchell Love?
Oh my goodness. I feel, Joey, that truly I feel that I'm a light worker. I feel and the timing of our connection is so interesting because there's so much happening in the human consciousness. And I do believe that we're shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm one of the many, many souls that are here to help with that shift. And the way that I am focusing my energy and sharing my love and my light is through divorce. And the new narrative was solace, which my guides just shared with me 2 months ago. And so it's been kind of percolating and I've been making sense of it and using it. And it's been beautiful. And I think that is who I am. I'm here to help people shift the way they look at divorce. It's not a shameful thing. It's not something that's meant to be fraught with failure and, be destructive in that space. It really is a beautiful space too. And you just said you did some healing work yesterday. Yeah. And so that's really what I share with people is take care of yourself, love yourself, trust that you are being guided on your own journey of self. And it's all beautiful and amazing. And divorce is here as a major catalyst for change. And there's a lot that goes into the divorce to do it mindfully and with empowerment.
Okay. All right. So everybody's talking about this 5D. I recently, in reference to not just what you're talking about in reference to being a divorce attorney, but also tarot card reading. Yes. Yesterday, what I believe me, I had, let's just say it this way. I feel so much better today, even yesterday, than I did like 2 days ago.
I'm so curious. What did you do yesterday, Joey? You're like...
I'm going to explain it a little bit before we get to the questions and everything. But one thing, how can things go 5D? Yeah, because 5D all of a sudden just became new to me. Within, when I reached out to you, I'm like 5D. I know about 4D, in reference to, like movies and stuff, and of course the 3D in reference to images and stuff. But 5D? So explain what 5D really is like.
Oh, I would love to. 5D. So the third dimension and the fifth dimension, it's easiest to explain it that way. The third
Okay.
dimension is everything that we've grown up with, everything that is currently present. And what we're seeing in the third dimension is it's becoming very, very heavy, and all of the systems in that third dimensional space really aren't working anymore. Like my expertise, the legal system, the education system, the healthcare system, the political system, there's all of these systems that were created, and we've just outgrown them as a human consciousness. And the thing about the third dimension, before I talk about the fifth, is the energies of the third dimension. When I say it, it's really heavy, it's because the energies that dominate that space are fear, greed, power, stress, disempowerment, all of these things. It's a really heavy, and the word I always use is gross. It's a gross energy. I don't like gross energy. It's too heavy. The fifth dimension has always been here. The third and the fifth have always been together. And there's many dimensions, but the third and the fifth are the ones that are happening right now. And the fifth dimension is a higher vibrational frequency. And so the best way to explain the fifth is, when I share the energies of the third, greed, power, control, those are heavy. Even when I say them, it doesn't make me feel good. But when we talk about the fifth, the dominant energies of the fifth dimension are freedom, bliss, love, joy, empowerment, connection, connection to self, which it sounds like you did yesterday. Connecting to self and connecting to others and connecting to this beautiful earth. And the third dimension is, the third really doesn't want us to be connected to one another, and they don't want us to be loving, beings of light that we all are, because it's much easier to control people and keep them in the programs and doing the things that others want them to do when they're in those lower vibrational energies. But when we can do, like you just did yesterday and you've commented on, when we can do things that really fuel our soul and make us feel amazing, that's when we raise our energy vibration. And when we're in the higher vibrations, then that is 5D. And the fifth dimension is, there's different ways of doing things. It's not so structured. It's more flowy. It's more loving. It's focused on healing. It's focused on recognizing that you are a gorgeous soul, and this is a beautiful gift to be on this earth and experience all the things we get to experience with the food and the fun and connecting to other people and just being outside.
Well, I will say yesterday before, well, actually 2 days ago, if we did this podcast, I would have told you the opposite of everything you just said. I would have told you I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not worth being in a relationship with. The divorce thing. That doesn't hold anything. But there's something that's in my past that I don't mention on this podcast, that I've been very transparent. I've been transparent the best I could. Yesterday, it got to the point, and I do want to thank a former guest as well as a former classmate of mine. You can always look it up on YouTube, Jen. His name is Jonathan Black, and we went through the phone, and he's more of a healer.
Yes.
It got to the point, Jen, I was crying non-stop.
Releasing.
I was always telling myself that I was ugly. I could never have another relationship again. I'm 5'4", 243. I'm fat. I'm ugly, and nobody would be interested in something like this. And no one would want to spend time with me, and I it's like I was realizing that I was poison to my own self.
Yeah.
And believe me, folks, before we start this podcast and even that intro, I couldn't keep my composure to her. I mean, I was melting for the. Look how beautiful she really is.
Oh my, you are gorgeous. You're so gorgeous.
Like I said, if I had, if a relationship was to brew, I'd probably be melting even more. Because I mean, the energy that I went through yesterday, and right now as I'm feeling it with Jen, and I'm like, I was like, wow, it's feeling so good. I mean, I didn't think, I like, people would probably have thought, welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I'm Joey Calvo. I'm a bore. I'm a piece of shit. This podcast is ending soon. Hell no. I got so tired of it. And I even took myself out late last night and got back early this morning. And one thing that people would not, I can say, people would not be interested in me because, I go to Atlantic City, okay? And I go to play the slots. Yeah, I go gamble. But when I do go, sometimes I spend the night down there. Like, I do have overnight rooms. And when I book a room, and I don't know if this is a plus for you, Jen. I know you have children, so I'm being careful on how I'm saying this. But
oh my gosh.
When I do rooms in Atlantic City, I always, and I'm an old fashioned. I do my best to be an old fashioned romantic, and I miss the physicalness. So I think that was another thing that brought a lot of me out too yesterday, and I mean, really brought it out. But
it's so good. It's so great that you did that.
Yeah, but I still miss the physicalness. That does hold me back on something. I miss, and I'm apologizing at the same time. But yes, do I miss having fucking sex? Hell fucking yes. Okay. But I miss holding hands with someone. I miss physically telling someone they're beautiful, they're amazing, they're special. They're everything I would want, even if there's a difference of opinion. Even if she's a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I don't care about that. I care about the person inside. I care about the heart. And when I get a room in Atlantic City, I always get an ocean view room.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
high vibe. That's so 5D.
Yes. So, and as an example, Jen was my date, and I had a night at the Tropicana in the Chelsea Tower, looking out the ocean. I would be literally telling Jen how beautiful she really is, and how the ocean is just as beautiful as she is, and literally just everything that's in my heart and soul literally come out. And would it turn out into a romantic night after that? I would think so. I mean, it could get wild and crazy. Yeah. Do I miss it? Oh, hell fucking yes. But just physically telling someone that.
Yeah.
It that's what hurts me the most. Because I miss having someone in my life to literally hold the hand, walk the beach, and saying all this, saying it through Zoom or a platform like this, or on YouTube, or texting people that there's no energy to it. It's the physical energy that really is what I always wanted. And yes, I was married. I made a mistake in my life that cost me 10 years of my life. And that, as of the other day, I would never forgive myself on. That was the actual, that was like the last piece of, like the last demon, quote unquote. I had a fight yesterday.
Yeah.
While I was crying in tears because I was feeling all this positiveness coming out of me and flowing. But this one demon of a past was like, fuck you. I'm not going to let you be happy. I'm not going to let you love yourself. Oof. For the first time in 40 years, I actually, it felt good. It literally felt good.
And it feels good to feel good.
And when I went out last night, yeah, I lost, but you know what? It didn't depress me. Well, it never depresses me, but it didn't damper me. And then I had just planned a vacation, an overnight vacation to see a friend that I was interested in. And I saw she sent me a message saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. I actually hooked up with someone else."
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to interrupt. I'm not even going to attempt to even go down and because I did not want to ruin it. I didn't want this new relationship to really get them off the wall. So I canceled my trip and I said, you know what? I'm not going to bother you anymore. I said, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave you alone. And I wish you well with this new relationship. I mean, this person will get back to me saying, why are you doing this? You know, it's just when people are in a relationship now that I was interested in, I'm not saying it hurt. It would hurt me, but it was like, you know what? They're happy, and I still had those feelings of, yeah, I want to walk away, and but literally yesterday, before yesterday, I literally went and just dig myself a hole and just crawl in it for the rest of my life. Yes, but after yesterday, I'm like, you know what? I'll still step back. I'll leave the person alone, let them live their lives, and move on.
But yeah.
Now, like I said,
anyone else.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, whatever anyone else is saying or doing has nothing to do with you anyway. You know, it's not like she's with another partner because she wants to hurt you. You know, one is.
She didn't want to hurt me. She still wanted me to come down. It's just, I don't. Let's just say it this way. My ex-wife, and I rarely say this, when we first met, she cheated on her boyfriend with me.
Okay.
Now, when we got married, within the 8 years that we were married, she cheated on me along the way. And I did.
Interesting.
I was doing everything to support. So it got to the point where she wanted a separation. And I really was upset. The other thing that really came out of me yesterday was way before yesterday, matter of fact, I never felt loved.
Oh.
Now, over the past couple of years, yeah, I was feeling the love, but I wasn't feeling it for me. I was always saying, like I was saying, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not interesting, I'm boring, no one wants a 53-year-old man in Philadelphia who just goes to the slot, goes play slots and does all that thing, wants to do all that stuff, you're nothing. You get like a chubby, you got the like extra fat, etc. That cleansing, and matter of fact, he just texted me to let me know he was sending me one of those like it's it's gonna be like a necklace.
Oh, okay.
And it's
with crystals.
It's not crystals. It's like he makes them. It's like it looks like it's like spirals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's sending me one of them
Cool.
because my heart was what did the most of it. So yesterday was and even last night was the first time. I mean, I was smiling on the train coming back.
Yay.
And so on. even through what I was saying about that person that I was going to see. I mean, do I want a relationship? Yes. Did I feel it before yesterday? No, because of that past that wanted to grip on yesterday and prevent me from moving forward with my life.
Yes.
And I mean, again, using Jen as an example, and like I'm feeling bad because I'm doing this, and it's supposed to be about her, not me.
No, I have so much flowing through me that I can't wait to talk with you about everything you just shared, because that's exactly what I help my clients do. And it sounds like you're still holding on to something, because even when you said I made one mistake, and then I was thinking, I wonder what mistake he made. And then you said it lasted 10 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think he's referring to his marriage. Is that what you were referring to?
It wasn't marriage. It was something else that I kind of, I like I said, I don't say it because if I do say it on this podcast, society would look at me like, go crawl in a hole and die.
Okay, then don't. I mean, I don't want you to say. That's gonna make you feel that way.
No. I have. See, now when we go offline, I have no problem telling you, because that's the person I really am. I want people to know who I am. I'm tired of. I really didn't want to. I don't want to hold things back, because. And this was my feeling, and I still feel this, even through the cleansing. I don't know. Society would turn around and like, oh, who's this Joey Calvo? And Google it, and they would see what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, I mean, regardless, I think everything that happens in our journey, and what I coach my clients on, is everything is happening for you. Even that, whatever this is, the 10-year, and it's your journey, Joey, and you're navigating it the way that you're navigating it. And it's beautiful and perfect the way, because it's yours. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with anyone listening.
Right.
It's yours, and everything is happening for us. I mean, if we want to go even deeper, there are theories that we live in a holographic universe, meaning, I did a plant medicine ceremony last January and was shown, and in my medicine journeys, I always have hot pink and glitter, and I was shown all these hot pink glitter bubbles kind of flying around in the air, and some of them, being next to each other, and inside the bubble was just the person. Just the human, that's it. Which means everything that is happening in our physical reality is a reflection to us.
Right.
It's a reflection to it. And it's showing us what we believe, what we feel we're worthy of, and the self-talk that you brought up, that is so important. It's
Mm-hmm.
so important what we say to ourselves, and we
Yeah.
can train our brain to think differently. I
Yeah.
do a meditation every morning
Mm-hmm.
and I do a meditation every night, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very mindful throughout my day of what I'm saying and how I'm feeling,
Mm-hmm.
because it is an energetic universe and we are attracting. And when
Yeah.
we're saying we want, I want this, I miss this, I feel like I need this, what we're actually doing is pushing it away. And so if you, my love, want to attract a gorgeous feminine into your life, it's not saying I want that, I have to find that. And that's why online dating to me is just so goofy, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to find anything. You
Right.
attract it to you.
Right.
And so just even shifting, and looking at,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting what you brought up with that woman that you were going to go visit,
Yeah.
because that whole scenario, again, it has nothing to do with you, what she's doing.
Yeah.
And that scenario is reflecting something to you.
Yeah.
And the message that I shared earlier when I said, there's been major I've received these major downloads in the past 2.5 months, and it's been
Yeah.
very intense and very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, absolutely the message that I'm sharing now, is that every person in our life that we are connected to, we have a soul contract with. And, that woman, it's not, and a lot of times, in the third dimension, it's
Mm-hmm.
all external. She
Mm-hmm.
did this, he said this, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, none of that matters, because what he or she did has, again, nothing to do with you. What it is, though, is a gift,
Mm-hmm.
because she's reflecting something to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you can ask yourself, okay. And it's interesting because in our short time together, you already shared that you did receive this same reflection in your
Yeah.
marriage
Yeah.
of a woman being interested in someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting,
Yeah.
because that's where the healing comes.
Yeah. And not just that, the she was look she was also controlling. I mean, if I wanted to go, like, Saturday nights used to be game night. She would never she rarely let me join in. So if I wanted to go do something, she would give me $5 or $10. So if I wanted to go to the casino, I went with $5 or $10. And then
Mhm.
if that was it, that was it. You know? And I'm like, it was like, and the rule that went through all that was, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
Mm.
So it's like I literally didn't really have much, but I was doing everything.
Well, and that's exactly it. It's
Yeah.
like, when I was a litigation attorney, every motion that I filed was focused on what you just said.
Yeah.
This is what happened and this is why I should get what I should get. But
Yeah.
that's the message that has come through so
Yeah.
clearly from my guides, is the power of you sharing that, Joey. The power lies in you, and I'm hopeful that you continue your healing journey, because it's magical and it's fun and it feels good, and it feels good to feel good.
Well, I will say right now, and as much as I might have you blushing for me saying it, do I wish you were here for me to tell you that physically? Yes. Because, I mean, there's so much extra energy coming through right now that it's like I wish that I could hold it physically.
That's
Because,
the 5D energy. It's
yeah,
real high and it's
yeah,
real
yeah.
light and full of love.
And you have so much of it, and I was like I said, when I first saw, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my God. This
Yes.
smile was one thing I could not stop thinking about. Okay.
You're so
I was
sweet.
I was like I was like, could I attempt to do something with this afterwards? But it was like I was afraid, I'd probably be shot down on it. But this was before yesterday.
And then yesterday you started releasing.
Yeah, oh God, did I release?
That is what it
And like I
is.
said, but I mean, I some of that, like I said, some within the transparency, what I was saying about earlier, I can't get around. Even though yesterday, yeah, I feel like a whole different person as of today, and doing the best to love life, because I still want, I still would be happy for a relationship. Could I wish it was with Jen right now? I could say yes, but that was what I was afraid of before yesterday. Because if I would have said what I just said now, Jen could have said, "You know what? Bye. I'm out of here." You're getting too deep, and I'm not interested in that, or I have a relationship as it is right now. Yada yada yada. And
Well,
and sometimes you can't hold the things. It's like I don't want to hold them, because I mean, you're seeing the person right now. You're seeing Jen right now, okay? And if she was physically sitting next to me, I would have said everything. Like I said, I would say everything in the world. And I'm going to be honest, ladies. If someone is really being honest with you, they're saying it through their hearts. If they're really saying it through their hearts and their soul, they want you to know. They want you to be told. They want to be told that they're beautiful, that they're amazing. Even if you feel like you're and my ex-wife right now, if I turned around and continued telling her how beautiful she is and stuff, she was the one that started saying what I said earlier about I'm fat and I'm ugly and all that. It was like I was carrying that with me and bringing it into me because I was feeling it. I mean, I was diagnosed with anxiety, and I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2009. So when I went through that cleansing yesterday, I mean, I was literally crying my heart out. I mean, everybody, and if I posted something on Facebook, like, you know what, I'm done with everybody, I'm leaving everybody alone, they're like, go see a therapist. Well, let me be honest about the therapy thing, because one, and I don't edit these videos, Jen. So you want to curse away, feel free to, because I'm doing that, as you can tell.
Perfect.
But therapy only goes a certain distance. Therapy could not help me. I had a psychiatrist. When I told him I did a podcast, this is what the psychiatrist said: your podcast is your therapy. I said, really? Like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah, right. And I've been saying to people when I do these podcasts, if you really think I make a difference, let me know. I want to see the actual physicalness and saying, yes, you made a difference. Thank you for this. Because if people just saying it right now doesn't mean shit to me.
Well, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you, Joey. People could be like, you have the best podcast in the whole world, Yeah. I think that's the shift too into the fifth, is really recognizing you create your life. You create your life. It doesn't matter what anyone says or does. You are creating your life. If you want to have the best podcast in the whole wide world, then you set intention. I'm going to have the best podcast in the whole wide world. And then you make it happen, and you.
Yeah, like I said, in reference to you, it's like I couldn't wait. I was like, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. As we've been talking, I haven't even gotten to the questions yet, guys. Okay, And it's like I'm losing. It's like I want to lose myself into her,
Mhm.
because of this energy that's going on.
It's a
I mean,
different
it's like
energy.
I like I've been saying. It's like that relationship that I need. That the needs and the wants. I mean, I'm feeling it right here. I'm literally trying to feel it, feeling that
Mhm.
yeah, here it is. It, maybe this could be the one. But and it's like I'm feeling sorry at the same time right now, though, and that's the other thing about me. It's like I am always sorry for everything.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, even when you said about the trip, you didn't want to go, because you didn't want to
yeah,
have her potentially. It's like, I mean, the way I navigate my life, Joey, is I do what I want to do.
yeah,
I follow my inner guidance.
yeah,
I'm like I said, I'm very, very mindful.
yeah,
Right now I'm in a 40-day dieta because I'm going
yeah.
to Brazil in April. So I'm doing a lot of, when you brought up therapy, it's interesting.
Mhm,
Therapy. I did therapy a couple times when I was going through my divorce,
mhm.
and it just didn't resonate very strongly.
Right,
And
right,
so
yeah,
instead, my therapy is I go hike in the mountains, I drink water, I do breath work, I meditate, I do yoga, I swim. I do the things that help me to feel good while
hmm
also releasing,
yeah,
eating high vibrational foods and
hmm yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Jed, I'm going to feel sorry for saying this. Please let me move in with you.
Well,
Because I feel
if you moved in with me right now, Joey, you'd be moving in with me, my 3 kids, my 2 cats, and my ex-husband, because we all live together.
oh,
So it
oh,
would be a
oh,
little tight right
oh,
now.
okay. Well, I will. Oh, well, one plus that you just gave me. I am a cat lover. I love cats
Oh,
like
my cat.
crazy.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I had
They're
three,
amazing.
and when I had the last time I had three, one would lay on my shoulder, one was on my chest, and one was in the closet looking at me.
Yes. Well,
And the
animals
one
and
and the one that was laying on my shoulder would like lick me in the head,
oh,
and the one that was laying on my chest was just like all bundled up, and the one in the closet was like, "I love you from over here," you know.
yeah.
But I am a cat lover. I mean, I literally, it's like right now, I like I said, being the transparent person, it's like I love. I haven't gone hiking in a long time. Yeah, I was a Boy Scout, and I did hikes and stuff, and did some camping.
Mm-hmm.
But but outside of that, I really didn't do that on my own. You know, I you know, um, but
Mm-hmm.
in reference to me, outside of Atlantic City or any casino, like I said, and like I said, of course, feeling bad of Jen because I'm putting her on the spot with this. You know, I mean, if Jen and I were in Atlantic City, I would be walking on the beach with her, holding her hand tight as I could, or as close to tightness without hurting her hand. Saying, live, feeling the love between, or literally just feeling the love energy that's there,
Mm-hmm.
and sharing what energy we have, because if it's gonna match, I want it to blossom. I really want to say, hey, Chad, you're the greatest person in the world. I mean, you're beautiful. You have beautiful long hair, beautiful eyes. You got a heart of gold. I mean, you're amazing. You got this great energy in you that I would love to share and enjoy the rest of my life with. You know, and the other, and I would be there even if I wasn't there in person, if if she wanted to share what she does, like I said, in reference to the practice,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be that I want the one thing that's really a plus to me is I like to, they always say life is a two-way road. That's what I that's my best. I want to be that two-way road. So if, say, for example, like I said, Jen came home and said, Joey, I had this crazy day. I'm like, tell me about it. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing I was doing in every relationship. Even though they wind up cheating on me, that was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be really that part of life.
Mm-hmm.
You
See,
know?
the cheating too,
Yeah.
that's what's interesting, is when it's not the cheating, it's not the actual cheating.
Mm-hmm.
The power for you lies in how the cheating made you feel.
Yeah.
And then, asking yourself, okay, have I felt this way with this person in this relationship container before? Have I felt this way? And then asking, have I felt this way with other people in other relationships?
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing, my love, and a couple things that you've shared, I feel a really strong emotional energy towards.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest question that you can ask yourself in your journey of healing that maybe just started yesterday, but is hopefully going to continue forever, because it'd be fun to have you in the fifth dimension with me, is to ask yourself, did I feel this as a child? And that question, 100% across the board, 100%, the answer is yes. And so it wasn't just the cheating. The other emotional charge was when you shared that she only gave you.
I was the youngest.
The youngest
I
of
was
how many?
7.
Okay. And the other thing that you shared that was really charged, Joey, is when you shared she barely gave you, you had $10. And she'd be like, and so that's and that's the thing. Mm-hmm. That's what's so beautiful about your ex-wife. That is what, and the thing is, when we're holding on to energy towards the things like the cheating, she only gave me $10, whatever it is, when we're holding energy, when we're holding that, like you learned yesterday in your session, we're remaining attached to it. And when we're remaining attached to it, it's keeping us in a space that our soul is not meant to be in anymore, because divorce presents when our soul contract together has been fulfilled, and it's time to move into another space and meet other people, and have new soul contract connections and learn new things about ourselves. And that is the beauty of divorce, and the beauty of cheating, and the beauty of the $10, and the beauty of all of the awful things is not even labeling them as awful, but just the triggering things, the thing that make you uncomfortable. Because that's then a question for you to ask yourself. Okay, when I was growing up, the youngest of my family, when did I feel this way? When did I feel like I wasn't first, or I'm not worthy of being first, which maybe cheating is, or only being given a little bit, like, oh, I have to do it on my own. I never have anyone that can care about me. Or maybe when you're sharing, you love to share, words of affirmation with the people that you love. And if those are being blocked, not reciprocated, then it's you thinking, okay, did that happen as a child, where I tried to share my feelings and my emotions and my love, and I was like blocked, and that's the thing, is that when we focus on our childhood, when we focus on, it's not just our childhood, it's the beliefs, because that's the thing. And I am a parent, and I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, please do not become messed up because of anything I do or say, because I have no idea what I'm doing or saying. I'm just doing the best that I can as a human. And you chose me, like in my belief system, children choose their parents to be their parents, meaning you chose your parents, you chose your siblings. And the reason your soul chose them is because you are on earth to heal different generational lineage beliefs. And so it would be powerful for you, since you're on this journey of healing. I think journaling is a really amazing space to do this work, but to start journaling, and start reflecting upon your childhood. And did you see or feel infidelity in your childhood? Is that something that either parent did or grandparent did or great grandparent did or whatever it is? And just really start thinking about that. That is where the power lies, because that is the gift. And that is what totally is missed. When people go through a divorce in the courtroom setting, there's no conversation about the soul contract. There's no conversation about this person who is triggering you in the ether, where we all originate from. You're actually like best friends. You love each other and you are here together to help one another heal the things. Release the things like you did yesterday. Release, and fill yourself with love and new beliefs. And that's the weird thing about beliefs is we take on our parents' beliefs when we're children, before the ages of 7 to 9 years old. So we're kids. We don't know any better. I mean, seriously, think of a 3-year-old. Do you think they know? Do you think they're like, oh, I'm adopting this belief that's going to negatively impact my entire life? It's like, no, they're just absorbing everything around them. So that's the power, Joey. And that's where you're at right now, which is so, I mean, it's beautiful that we're connecting today, right? That you just had this healing. And you said that you would have been totally different, before the healing. And that is the new modality too, I think, is people recognizing my next tattoo is as within, so without, recognizing that your internal, not just your self-talk, but your feelings, your beliefs, your energy creates your external, and doing the healing sessions and healing work to release the things that are not serving us anymore, and being a sovereign being of light and saying this vibration doesn't resonate with me any longer. And so I'm going to release it. And every time I release anyone or anything, it's always with love. And I always reflect on all of the beautiful parts and all the difficult parts and what I learned about myself, what reflection they gave. And then we release them. And then their bubble, their hot pink glitter bubble goes one direction and we go a different direction, and it's fine. It's really beautiful, the journey. And I feel you're going to hear a lot more about the fifth dimension moving forward, because that's my guides gave me a message December 6th. And it was wild. Like the message, word for word, the message was, and I've been an attorney for 19 years. Okay. So just before I share this with you, I have been an attorney for 19 years in the third dimensional, system of law. And I figured out a different way to do it, which is, filled with love and empowerment and growth and expansiveness and all of those things. But December 6th, I was leaving the next day. I was going to California, not Florida, California, to meet my friend. He's creating a conscious community in Monterey. And we were doing a medicine ceremony, and he was gathering some other people. And I felt really fragmented. I wasn't sure if I was going to go. And the night before, I sat outside to ground, to Mother Earth. And my guides gave me this message, and word for word, the message is, in 2025, Solace, my legal practice, is going to have a new marketing narrative. And the narrative is, we are in the fifth dimension and we help people shift to the fifth through the portal of divorce. And I was like, that's my personal life, Joey. That's what I talk about with all my friends and my shaman and that, and my kids. Like that's very much my personal life. And it is very much my personal life.
Well, and I'd like to get to these questions, because we're almost coming up to an hour. We haven't even gotten to the questions.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ask away. You're driving this ship. You lead us.
And I feel bad, because this is supposed to be about you, No,
you know what, Joey? I feel everything is exactly the way it's meant to be. I'm burning sage for us. Everything is the way it's meant to be. And I feel that this space was really for you. I feel like and what I'm sharing with you is what I share with all my clients, so I think it's beautiful. I think it's exactly the way it's meant to be.
Well, like the way I'm feeling right now in the back of my mind, and wish it could be more. but of course, like I said, I've got to watch what I do, and that's one thing I do respect women in reference to that. So like I said
You
about
are so funny. I feel like you spend a lot of time external thinking about other people. I
yeah
think if you just spent more time on yourself and focusing on what is your dream life? What is your dream relationship?
yeah.
What is your dream home? Although where you live looks amazing, or where you are looks amazing. What is
Actually,
your
this is just a virtual background. I actually live in your
Oh,
own house.
oh, awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that piano.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Oh,
The
yeah. That's
fireplace.
the piano's not me. I'm not even though I love smooth jazz music and classic rock and you know like smooth any 70s and 80s and the Clash and so on. But to before I get to these questions real quick, there was one more thing I want to clarify in
Yeah.
reference to my divorce. It took me 15 years to physically divorce her, my
Mm.
ex-wife, because
Why? What do you think
we
was
couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford
Oh.
it. So I was able to in 2023.
Mm.
So I filed it just after Thanksgiving of 2023. So and it was a no fault divorce. That's
Yes.
what we both wanted. You know,
Yes.
so
It's
um,
interesting. I'm offering now some virtual divorce with love 4-day retreats, and I'm sharing this because it's $2,200 a couple,
wow.
which is amazing. I mean,
All
for
right.
someone who went through a divorce, I think it's amazing, and they're going to
Yeah,
learn all of these things, and have they will receive my client handbooks, my legal handbook, my emotional handbook. But that's exactly why I'm offering it, Joey, is
yeah,
like when you said 15 years, my love, seriously, it's like, oh my gosh, like
yeah.
I can't stay stagnant in a space that is not serving very long at all. Like I
Right.
have to be, and especially where I am now,
Yeah,
where I am now, it's like, no.
yeah.
So yeah, 15
All right.
years. But
Yeah,
the other thing is that I'm thinking is that in that 15 years, you must have received other reflections from each other that you needed. Your contract wasn't complete until it
yeah.
was done.
Right. Well, she wound up having a kid out of one of those cheating relationships. So
Oh,
yeah. So, but that was something we had talked about even before when we separated.
yeah.
We don't, you know, she didn't want anything from me. I didn't want, there was nothing I really wanted from her, you know.
Mhm.
So, all right. So let me get to these questions real quick.
All right,
I
let's do
need
it
to
real quick.
introduce, I need to introduce you to our number one fan, number one supporter, and she's a real life superheroine.
Yes.
And she has been, uh-oh. Oh, okay. It's not letting me. But her name is American Fox, and I sent you a picture of her when I sent you the questions.
Mhm.
And so the first question that she had, my of course my end would have to be freaking slow. My
Here.
Chromebook folks is outdated. So
Don't worry.
yeah.
I'm going to put them in the chat for you because I
Yeah,
have them right here.
yeah. Okay. So the first question is, how did you get into this field?
Okay. Well, I mean, the field that I'm in now I love that picture. I love that she's your number one fan. That's awesome.
Well,
So,
you know how we were talking about relationships and so
yes.
on? I physically wanted a relationship with her, and she has been there for me support wise, you know, but she she has reminded me that she doesn't want a physical relationship. She's fine as a friend, but deep
Mhm.
down it was like I wanted more. And it was like I felt so bad. And this was before the cleansing.
Yes.
Then I
Right.
was to the point where I was just getting ready to leave her alone after this podcast. I wasn't
Mm.
even going to bother with her anymore. But after
Okay.
yesterday, I was like, I need my inner circle because
Well,
that
yeah.
inner circle was really what was holding me together.
Yes.
So,
And
so she came up with these questions, like I said, and
that's
so
so cute. And you know what? There are many forms of love and many types of relationships, Joey. So
yeah,
I think that's the very third dimensional thing too, is we try to label, like with this, what you just shared, like I wanted it to be this, but it wasn't. So I was going to let it go. But I think that's, recognizing that we can flow into whatever relationship space that we want, and we can still share love with one another and be very open and free. It's kind of like the free love, of the 60s kind of thing. But I think it's kind of similar. The energies are similar where it's not so tight. It doesn't have to be so boxy. There is no right, wrong, good, or bad. It just is what it is. And everyone is being honest and kind and loving and following their own journey, and being authentic in what that is.
All right. So the first question she had, like I said, was how do you get into this field? Now you mentioned that earlier. If you want to repeat it.
Yeah, I mean, I think how did I get into what I'm doing now? I was a litigation attorney for 9 years, and then I had kids. I had 3 kids in 39 months. And when the last one came, Hudson, he was born end of May. And in July, I had a full body epiphany where I realized I can't do this. I don't want to do this as my career. I don't want my kids to see me doing this fighting. And so that's how I got into this field. My children moved me into a bigger space.
Okay. So the second question is, what are the majority of outcomes after consultations with you?
Yeah. When I saw that question, I was like, that's interesting because what we've been talking about, Joey, is, we haven't talked about this specifically, but in every present moment, every version of self is present, right? Meaning this right now moment, billionaire Jen and homeless Jen and everything in between are all present. And so after the consultation, there's a billion plus things that could happen, from my vantage point, what happens after the consultation is either they say, yes, we want to work with you, or I don't hear from them. And then if they want to work with me, then the choice is, okay, do you want to do the virtual retreat that I just shared with you, which I do 10 couples, 10 couples are invited at a time. Or do you want to do the one-on-one, me, with the 2 people, and everything is via Zoom. So it makes the energy really easy to share truth.
Great. And the third question that American Fox had for you is, do some reconcile after meeting with you?
So once they start the divorce journey, I would say I've guided over 500 couples through the divorce journey. And I would say out of that, maybe 2, I know one, I can think of one right now. But I would say maybe 2, it's very rare. I think once people get to, I think everything leading up to divorce is really heavy and really hard. And then when they get to a space of, yes, we want a divorce. And then when they're with solace, I love my clients, and I just give them so much of myself, when they're going through this journey. I manage their expectations. I make sure that they don't, they're not feeling overwhelmed or stressed, because there's nothing to feel that way about when it comes to divorce. And so, once they're in this space, they're happy in the space. But I've had a couple. I mean, like I said, I can remember one, but I'm just putting another one in there just in case, but it's very, very rare. I think once people make the decision, they're ready to do it.
Yeah.
Especially solace. It's so fast.
Yeah.
The virtual event is 2 weekends, 4 days. And then the one-on-one is usually 3 to 4 months. So it's once they make the decision, they're in it.
Yeah. All right. So everybody can reach out to American Fox on X at American Fox 4, or on Threads and Instagram at American Fox 12018. So Jen, how can people reach out to you and say, hey, maybe this is what I need. Maybe I need to come to you and like Joey did, opened up his whole life in an hour, because we're coming up at the hour. So how can people reach out to you?
They can find me, my website, www.solacedivorce.com. And then I'm also on Facebook, my personal, Jen Mitchell. I just legally changed my name to Jen Mitchell Love. So that's exciting. And then my business is on Facebook as well, Solace Divorce. And I also have a book I just released that's called Shine, Soul, Shine. And it's 30 days of self-discovery and healing through divorce. And so I'm really excited about it. It's really beautiful. It's just real easy. You can just flip to a page, and then that day, that's what you're going to focus energies on, and it's all different things.
Okay. All right. So here's the website, solacedivorce.com. So you can reach out to the beautiful Jen. And I truly thank you. I apologize for going over the hour a little bit, but it was like this podcast, being the first one after going through a holistic feeling, cleansing, and starting this new journey of holding on to the positivity within me and not thinking about, all that negativity, even though it's still there. It's just, it's gripping on, but it's not like controlling me right now. But it was almost like I wanted to let my heart and soul out to you because of how amazing you are and the energy that you have. And it's like, I feel bad because she's got 3 kids and an ex-husband living with her, and
I'll get along. We love each other. Aaron and I just love each other differently than when we were married, and he's in a beautiful new relationship, and it's all amazing.
So her having a new boyfriend on the side with an ex-husband in the house might not look good, to a point, but definitely check out Jen. She's amazing. I mean, like I said, you literally, I can't stop falling for her. Okay, because this energy that has been going through this whole podcast, it's like it was like, come to me, let me
heal you.
Let me share this energy with you, and it's like I'm feeling bad at the same time for it because everything else in between. And,
there's nothing to feel bad about. Please do not feel bad for a moment.
But
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to create your dream life and continue your journey of healing. And
like I said, this podcast felt good. I mean, what I did last night into this morning, it's something I normally do because of the past. I call it my safe haven, but I didn't go. I mean, like I said, I usually would have fun, but even though I really wish I could do stuff with someone, because it people would tell me very quickly that it's an addiction, and it's not an addiction. Now it's starting to, because I've been going every week. Because I lost my job at Amazon. So, I get tired of being home.
Yeah.
And so that's my getaway as well. So, but Jen, thank you for the time.
My gosh. Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
For really, I'm sorry. No, I shouldn't be sorry.
Don't apologize.
But I couldn't help falling for you.
Oh, I love you.
Because of the beauty that you are.
Oh, I love you.
It's actually, like I said, I always compliment, and some take it to offense, but I say it because it's the truth,
No, and I love that. I love, like I shared, I love compliments. And I wanted to share with you too. I'm starting a new podcast. And so I would love, and I think, and it's all focused on healing. It's called Divorce with Love. My first guest is a breathwork and shamanic practitioner.
Okay.
And he guides us through a 10-minute breath work. But I encourage you, and I'll reach out to you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way that people can stay connected to me, and also, to help people
Mm-hmm.
with the things that we've been talking about
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
with self-talk, with
Mm-hmm.
loving ourselves, with
Yeah.
giving ourselves grace.
Yeah.
This is not easy being on this earth. This is like a master's program. It's
Yeah.
not kindergarten. It's hard, and so, yeah, I want to provide people with solace and help them navigate this new space, this new way of living, of focusing on self
Mm-hmm.
and connecting to self and your soul, which is what
Yeah.
you did yesterday, Joey.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
exciting.
And like I said, ever since that's happened, I mean, like I said, I still have my little down period of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it didn't knock me down. It didn't knock me down to the point where I'm like, woe is me. I'm going back to my old self.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back in that. I don't want to be around anybody. It didn't stop me. I mean, yeah, I got upset even because the McDonald's I go to here doesn't have iced coffee. But I was like, when are you getting it? Like, because I go there for my iced coffee. They know what I literally want,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when are you going to have it? Because, that's what I go by every day,
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, as I'm feeling bad because I'm keeping Jen over an hour, but with so much energy and so much that I let out to her, I just could wish it kept going and going. And it was like in the back of my mind, I could wish it was physically, because if it was physically, I'd be like a whole different person. I'd probably be like literally at her feet, like, love me forever, please. Like, let's share this energy, this wonderful energy,
this fifth dimensional energy.
Yeah, because it just feels
it's that fifth dimension feels really good. It really does, and that's the shift that and every human is being given the choice right now. Do you want to stay in the third? Do you want to come to the fifth? And the healing that you did yesterday is helping to get to the fifth, because we have to we have to release all the attachments to the third.
Yeah.
And that's why my guide said the portal of divorce, that divorce is just one of an infinite amount of portals to get to the fifth. It's just one of many. It's any difficult experience, I feel, is what's going to get us there. And even the iced coffee, that you shared, it's releasing the attachment to that. It's not letting it impact your energy, because it's just like, that's outside of me. I have no control over that. I only have control of how I respond and react. And I'm choosing to live in a joyful, loving moment every day, every moment of my life.
And the crazy thing is, when I went to McDonald's this morning to get the iced coffee to get me through the rest of the day, I had a Dunkin' iced coffee in my hand.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I am also, not only through this cleansing, and I'm going to make this quick, I want to be healthy again, because I was diagnosed with diabetes and the obesity and the... And yes, I'm going to admit it. I was just told I have ED too. Okay. And because like I mentioned how much I fucking miss sex, and realize, knowing that I have ED, my urologist actually gave me a prescription for Cialis, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I actually am not ashamed to say it.
Well, and have you ever heard of
Cialis?
Have you heard of Louise Hay?
No.
So Louise Hay was one of, I'll send it to you in the chat.
Yeah.
She was one of the first women healers to talk about how she had stage 4 cervical cancer, and she healed herself. And so anytime I have any physical happening in my body, right? Even if it's like my shoulder hurts, or I hit my hand and I hurt my hand, or whatever it might be. So diabetes, everything that you just shared, anything that presents in the physical, because we're emotional, the four bodily selves: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual.
Right.
The physical presents at the end.
Yeah.
And so there is a website you can go, and she has a book, You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay.
Yeah.
And you can go on the website and you can look up the physical issues that you have going on. And she will share with you the emotional reasons behind
Send me by email in reference to that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's easier by email because once this is done, I mean, this goes on YouTube, so that's why. So, but Jen, thank you for letting me enjoy you. And that's one thing in a physical relationship that I would ever want, is enjoying the complete beauty of someone like you.
Oh, I love you.
Because, I mean, that's really what love is about. If you think about it, is enjoying the complete beauty of each other.
Yes.
And making it really brought together. To be that two-way road, to be, two hearts going into one, and going down that journey and being there for each other, like in the marital vows, until death do us part. And that's what I did my best to do. And do I still want to do that? Yes. I don't want to get married again. I'd rather have a lifelong partner. But could I wish it was you right now? Of course, because this podcast right now has really just bubbled, inside of me. I was like, I feel like a kid in a candy store right now, because I'm like looking at this complete beauty, enjoying it, and sharing so much. So I thank everybody for watching this podcast. I thank Jed for really enjoying the time, because like I said, I could wish there was more. And I mean, but that would be up to her on that part. I can't push that. But like I said, she has what she has. I have what I have. But guys, if you really want to be with someone, be honest with them, be truthful with them, because if you don't, you're gonna be in that where I was for the past 40 years, and putting yourself down and saying, I'm not going to be great for this person, and and really step up yourself. I mean, that was something I had been doing even when I was that person that didn't care about themselves. But I mean, after that cleansing, I just could not. I was like, you know what? I'm fine. I can manage this. I can move on. It's not the end of the world, The thing about American Fox, like I'm bubbling over you. I was bubbling over American Fox as I was getting to know her, and I still would bubble over American Fox, but there were boundaries that were put in, and I have to work with them. There were boundaries with me that I was literally making myself a jail out of, And yesterday I literally did a prison escape, and it felt good.
Yes.
Even though, yeah, there's still a piece of prison in me that I can't get rid of.
Well, maybe not in the first session, but you can release it.
Well, when I explain it to you, you'll understand what I'm talking about in reference.
Okay.
But thank you, everybody, for watching this podcast. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Yes. All right.